is, before we start a conversation, is to introduce you to these two brilliant women. I don't stand here talking while you're thinking, who are those brilliant women on stage? So first of all, we have Jessie Jo Jacobs, who is standing to be Tees Valley Mayor and will become the first female Metro Mayor in the country should she win. At the age of 24, what have I been doing in my life? After meeting a 15-year-old girl on the streets of Teesside who had turned to prostitution, Jessie set about trying to improve the lives of women and girls in the region and founded the charity A Way Out. Over the years, Jessie has worked tirelessly to support women, girls and families in Teesside facing addiction, prostitution, exploitation and poverty. She now leads a consortium of charities that collectively work with around 100,000 vulnerable people across the North East and Yorkshire. Jessie has also set up a citizen newspaper and has led cross-party regeneration projects. She entered politics as a way of improving the lives of local people and to make real difference to her community. And it is this goal that continues to motivate her through everything she does.
Yeah, I think my journey's been more of that kind of slow burn. I never thought that I would do anything to do with politics. I didn't understand it, I didn't get it, I didn't even think that you could change anything through politics. At 24 years old, I met a 15-year-old girl who'd been exploited into prostitution by a man twice her age, and she looked about 12, and she was being pimped on the streets of Stockton-on-Tees. And I met her, and I guess for me it was the injustice that when I heard her story and how she'd come to this position, that the system had just let her down. It was failure after failure. But at the same time, in the same town, there were young girls of the same age who had hope, who had aspirations, who were going to school and had, just such a different life. And I felt like there was nothing, and I needed to try and champion and try and work with these young women to address this huge inequality in Stockton. But for me, I guess I came from more of an entrepreneurial kind of background, and so it was about starting a charity and raising funds and employing people and having policies and I've always looked young for my age, but when I was back then, I did look about 15 myself, and I'd take older people to meetings with me just so I could be taken seriously, and often felt like I didn't have a voice, and I'd go to these meetings and everyone seemed to know everything and knew the language and the jargon, and I knew, and for a long time I didn't say anything. And I just remember, I felt like no one was getting it, there was all these professionals, but no one seemed to be really understanding what was going on in our communities. And I think one day, I remember speaking at my first big meeting, and I've been continuing to speak ever since. I found my voice, and at the same time, the whole political world started to change, and what happened around the banking crisis was my first moment where I understood, where I first came to awareness that there was a huge economic system that wasn't working for the people that I was working with and for and alongside. But it was when, after that crisis, that what was going to happen was there was going to be cuts that was coming, and all the people, all our services, everything we'd done was going to pay for the price of some very wealthy people who'd gambled with our money and had crashed the economy. And the people, the children, the families I work with, who already were struggling to survive, they were going to be made to pay the price. What had they done? Why would their community centre have to go to pay the price of what had happened at the top? Why was those children's services? Why was that alcohol group where all those young girls were coming along and finding hope and finding aspirations? Why did they have to lose that group, that lifeline? And it was the injustice of it. And I wanted to, I guess, bring that voice into the political space and say no, you will not pay the price on the backs of of us, of Teesside, of our children.